Hello, beautiful souls. Happy Magical Monday. Hopefully, Jizzy will let me know he can see me. It is 6:57. Thank you, Jizzy. Welcome, everybody. I don't know if you're having trouble with Facebook or other technical issues, but I certainly am this morning. But I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad I'm here. It's 6:58, so we'll wait 2 more minutes for everybody. As always, say hello in the comments because I will come back and see who's here with me. I'm really having challenges with my screen. But anyway, here we are. I hope you had a good weekend. As we're waiting for everybody, I'm just going to invite you to begin to breathe a little more full and slow and deep into your body. And just bring yourself more fully present here. Screen is doing all kinds of weird things right now. Excuse me. Okay, it is 7 o'clock straight up. And before we start, I'm just going to invite all of us to take our hands, our built in jumper cables, and just rest them on your heart for a moment. And just feel your own heart beating in your chest. Just remind yourself there's an intelligence right there in the form of a ball of energy. And that's the I am presence. I just want you to activate that in whatever way makes sense to you right now based on everything we've been talking about for all of these months and years. I just want you to soften your shoulders, maybe close your eyes. And I want you to, on your own, take 3 deep breaths into your chest cavity and simply sense that intelligence. That's all. If you want to picture it like a gold ball of light, go ahead, but I just want you to sense it. Just continue to breathe full and slow and deep. There's a connection between your breath and that intelligence. Keep your eyes closed a second longer or a minute longer and stay focused on your chest cavity, and go ahead and take your hands off and just sense that intelligence. Sense the presence of that energy. And just open yourself to it a little bit more, whatever that means right now. Just surrender into it a little bit more. And then when you're ready, go ahead and, excuse me, open your eyes and come back to the screen. And again this week, I just want to keep it really simple. Last week, we talked about the idea that many of us have just been trying to process life from just one familiar alignment, one familiar old frequency, just one familiar limited level of perception. And in that perspective, everything feels urgent. Everything feels overwhelming. and there's just like way too much to figure out. Remember, I talked about that last week, and we talked about the possibility that something else is coming online. I sent you a little graphic immediately following last Magical Monday, hoping that it would remind you you are becoming a very strong transmitter and receiver within your own self. And it's a quieter receiver, and it's a steadier receiver, and it brings us all into a deeper level of awareness. And today I want to build on that in a very gentle and a very practical way, because the question as we keep moving forward becomes, if that receiver is coming online, what's it actually helping us to do? I want you to take a breath right now into that receiver, because the simplest way I can answer that is, it's helping us. It's helping you come back to the I am presence that is you as source. Not your I am presence as if it's separate from anything else. It's the I am presence right here. This is not a big spiritual idea. And it's a real place inside of you. Excuse me. Give me 1 second. And this real place, it's a rock. It is a place of steadiness. It's a place of pure intelligence. It is the place of what you've heard me refer to for years as your inner guidance. It's your inner guidance because there's the personality, that's the your, and it's coming from the I am presence. Your human inner guidance is coming from the eternal version of you. And the April message from the elders keeps bringing us back to this truth. The medicine in the message this month continues to tell us that the outside world, it's going to get continually, it's going to just get more intense. And we're going to look out there and we're going to continue to see the systems continue to wobble and shake and start to crumble. And things are going to feel and look and be incredibly confusing and unstable and deeply disappointing to our personas. But at the same time, something in us, the I am presence, is building this undeniable steadiness. That's the best way I can say it. And I'm struggling for words right now. That's the part I want you to notice. The part of you that's becoming steadier even when you don't feel like you're doing enough to let yourself be aligned with that steadiness. That's the part I want you to notice, because I think a lot of people assume that if they were really connected to their I am presence, they would feel blissful all the time, or peaceful all the time, or like they had all the answers all the time. And that's not what I think is happening at all for us. Our spiritual imprints of what we even think ascension looks like, what we even think it means to be source as us, is getting an upgrade from the inside out, from the stronger bandwidth that we are now tuned to allow the message to come through. And what I think is actually happening right now, it's simpler. It's like you just be you. I'm talking to you. I'm not, the you I'm talking to is not hypothetical. You begin to notice that you recover from your spin more quickly, or you notice that you don't spiral quite as deep. Just think about that. I know this is true because many of you have mentioned to me, I'm noticing this. Like you're noticing your clarity in any given moment shows up sooner. Feel that for a moment. This is so important because as you begin to notice what your body tells you, like something is off faster, right? And you begin to connect those dots, you begin to become familiar with the way the I am presence, not yours, the I am presence is functioning as you. You begin to notice certain things you used to feed with a lot of intensity and a lot of energy just don't deserve as much of your time anymore, right? I know you've been noticing that, but are you connecting the dots? Because that shift, it's not nothing. That is the I am presence becoming more embodied in your human life. And this is important because as things outside of us get more intense, the on the onboarding, I'm going to call it, or the uploading or the expansion of the I am presence, it's not dramatic. It's practical. The I am presence as source as you is practical. And I think that is so important right now because the world is asking us, it's demanding us to become more dramatic. But your I am presence, the I am presence, you as source in the human presentation of you is asking you and empowering you to become more anchored in what? Yourself as source. The mind is struggling to understand that, but the playbook is opening day by day, page by page. But it requires, and it's subtle, and it's simple, and it's solid, and it's quieter. And when the elders say in the April message that the strength we need comes from the living I am presence within us, I think what they're really saying is it's time for us to stop assuming that our stability comes from outside. In other messages, they said, you can't wait for the outside to become calm. And there's an assumption within our wounded third dimensional persona. And now we're being empowered to, to not hear it as an ask, but to realize we've been empowered to stop assuming that our stability comes from the outside. And we've been empowered to stop assuming clarity comes from the outside. And we've been empowered, you've been empowered to stop assuming your next step is going to be shouted at us from the outside. There's something quieter than all of that, and it's emerging, and it's wiser than all of that, and it lives right here. Feel that again. Pause right now and breathe into that inner guidance. Breathe into that intelligence that's empowering you. So, maybe this week the practice isn't about, again, trying to get a huge answer to what the fuck is going on and what the hell do I do, and excuse my French, but that's what the intensity of the outside world is demanding our dramatic stance become. It wants to be so overwhelming it shuts us down, yet this quiet, steady presence, the I am presence, is taking up residence in you. So rather, again, this week than trying to come up with all those big answers, maybe let's turn the practice even deeper inward and really ask ourselves, when when do I notice myself leave my steadiness? And when do I notice myself come back? And I don't want to make these so hypothetical, but when it's easy to understand when these things happen, when I doom scroll, when I say yes to something that is a no, when I don't pause long enough to realize, oh, in this moment, I'm just hungry, right? Or in this moment, I feel really afraid and I'm not acknowledging that. And so I'm responding from this place of fear about my circumstances that I'm not really participating with in an inner sense of honesty, and I'm just reacting. And all of that is so easy to happen. But this gentle, quiet presence is getting stronger if we stay focused inward. So you already know when you feed fear. We've been looking at all of this, right? So this week, last week, we put the focus on the invitation, or to accept the invitation from the elders to set intentions every day, no matter what we're doing. They can be macro experiences of it or they can be micro experiences of it. But I want you to turn the dial with me on giving yourself permission to ask and then run the experiment even more than you did last week. When and how can I feed peace and connection and joy? Because every time you return to one of those coherent inner states, you're strengthening the part of you that can hear and respond to the receiver. And that's what this month is about. Making the decision to amplify the amount of times we give ourselves permission to intentionally create states of inner peace, states of connection, inner connection and outer connection, and states of joy. And the key is that they told us 2 magical Mondays ago, when you make the choice to ask, how can I create more peace in this moment? And then you do it, to pause long enough to feel the sensation, to bask in the state of being of peace, or the state of being of connection, or the state of being joy. That's a beingness. And the whole month is inviting us to turn the dial on savoring and basking that, not simply for the pure joy of being in the state, but because that is amplifying your ability to be connected to the receiver, which also is the transmitter. We're going to look at that in the next May message. It's already here. I haven't brought it through, but it's all right here. And you're going to get it in your inbox a week from this Saturday. So, you don't have to ascend in one giant step, and that the world's not going to bring us to that one giant step. We're going to continue to ascend by returning to our breath. We don't have to understand everything that's happening in the world. We just have to keep returning to our breath, to the intelligence in our chest, to the beautiful golden light, and to the state. And we can access it and have it amplified this month through creating states of peace, connection, and joy. It's really that simple this month. The mind says, nope, too much going on. And the I am presence says, yeah, and this is the moment I want to support you, wounded persona. I want to support myself as source, as you, wounded persona, to recognize this is the moment before you incarnated that you knew would be here. And this is the time to let the playbook, through the power of your breath and through the state of peace and connection and joy to bring you into an embodied experience of what you said, yeah, sign me up, I'll go. And this month, this is the pathway, creating intentional states of peace, connection, and joy. Turn the dial right now on your commitment to running that experiment. And I'll see you on next Magical Monday. But before we go, just take 3 breaths in all by yourself with the intention of activating and experience the state of connection to the I am presence as you. Breathe in. Let it expand. Notice it. Take another breath in. Let it expand out of your body and into your space. And do that one final time for our time together today. Big breath in. This time, as you exhale, let it expand out of your body, out of your space, and into your day. Opening the question, how can I intentionally create moments of peace or connection or joy as I go out today? That's where I'm going to leave you. I love you tons. Be well. See you next week.